Greetings. It is Cole. It is just Cole. This is going to be a slightly different solo podcast that's going to be going up on this channel. Maybe I'll make it a series. If I make it a series, God knows what I'll call this. I really don't know. But for today, I've been really bored and I wanted to talk about something to nobody. So today, after a quick ask in my Kick Chat of what I should talk about, Sophie suggested that I should talk about New Year's. And I don't know, I cannot speak from other countries. I can't even speak from other parts of the countries of other parts of the United States. But New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, mostly New Year's Eve, which is the funnier part, is like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I am non-religious, so I'll make that statement. I would put it at an Easter level holiday. Like, I don't think it's all the way Christmas. I don't even think it's all the way Halloween. It's probably like 4th of July, like a Easter level. People might get really mad at me for even comparing those two, and people might get really mad at me for comparing even those two, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's where I think the two are in terms of their importance. Sorry, I just got closer to the mic, so it might get louder. I understand that people, like, I personally, I kind of get it. I really understand why the New Year's is so important. It's a big change. A lot of things are going to change. Every paper you write is going to have a different thing on it. When you look at, the biggest thing that I noticed this New Year's, I'm recording this on the 5th of January, so it was pretty soon. My biggest thing was, like, I looked at my phone after the ball had dropped, because that's what I was doing with my friends. We were watching the ball drop, and seeing January 1st, 2018, was like, whoa, that's really weird. I'd gotten so used to seeing, like, end of the year months, November, December. Like, it was a big shift, and I think it's kind of a cultural thing. I will say, specifically in the previous 2 years, the end of 2016, and there's a fire truck in the background, the end of 2016 and now the end of 2017, I think have become bigger deals. I will say, considering the context of those years, and that for me and the friend group and social group and political group that I interact with, those have not been the greatest years. That this has been alright, 2017, not the greatest. Some bad things happened, but maybe it'll get better. Maybe better things will be happening. And so we look to the next year as a way of hoping and maybe projecting what we want this next year to be. And it's a time where we can all get together with friends and just celebrate and be like, hopefully this will be better. And hopefully things will be better. And I will be better. That's kind of the thing of New Year's resolutions. Is it's this idea that for a lot of people, change is a constant thing, and I think that's both really good, and I think it's a very good way to live your life, but it's also very difficult. It's very difficult for you every day to say, I'm going to make this change, I'm going to be better. And so some people, like, I know I like to clean my room every Sunday. Because now I'm like, alright, I am starting a week with a fresh, clean space. And so, just imagine that, but it's kind of amped up. New Year, now I feel like, because some people feel like, and I very much understand this too, why it would feel kind of bad to, not bad, because it's still good, I guess. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Why should I start trying to go to the gym on November 13th? Like, what significance does that have? Woo, I've been doing it for a month and a half and then the year ends. But now, if you've been doing it since the beginning of the year, it'll kind of set. And I know it's a big joke that New Year's resolutions never get followed, and it kind of sucks that that's how it is. But a lot of that is because people don't set the right kind of goals. But that's kind of a whole nother issue for maybe another video. But now you can say, all right, this year is the year where I get better. Like at doing my homework on time, things like that. Personally, I think that is a much better goal than abstract goal. There's a acronym called SMART goals. This is going to get real ASMR for a second as I look it up. Alright, so they say when you make a goal that it should be SMART. It should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. I disagree in regards to New Year's resolutions specifically, because I think what you should do when you make a New Year's resolution is you should try to do something that, as opposed to by March I'm going to lose this amount of weight. Instead, because that's difficult, and if anything, that is more stressful on yourself, making a goal of that nature. Whereas I think I'll say with what one of my friends, Sophie, actually said, is my goal for 2018 is to keep my spaces cleaner, to keep my room clean, to keep my living room clean, and I think, like, for her, I shouldn't have just said that, but this is gonna sound rude. But I think for people, that's a really good, kind of goal. My goal is personal hygiene. There are days where if I'm not going out and I'm not doing anything, I'll tend not to shower, which ends up just making me feel kind of lethargic and gross. So my goal is to shower every day. I don't really trim my nails that frequently. For some reason, I don't know, maybe if it's an ADHD thing, I can tap them on things, but I like to keep them a little bit longer, but I'm going to try and keep them more trimmed. I'm going to try to wash my face more frequently. And now that's a goal where I can be like, oh, if there's a day that I don't shower, I haven't failed my goal, because still, overall, as a whole, I am trying to be cleaner, and I am completing my goal, and that's why I think that's such a better way of doing it. And I think it is a big deal to a lot of people, and I know this year specifically on Twitter, I just saw a million people who were just, furious at this idea of, new year, new me, and things like that. And I really don't get that, because I think if you're not going to let people have this time to change, when do you expect them to ever change? And I think you have to say, yeah, you go. You make this new year new you. You become a better person. You be kinder to people. You try to forgive people more. And I think it's a perfect time to try and do that, especially, and I saw this on Twitter as well, this year started off on a Monday. You had a fresh year, fresh week, fresh day, fresh month, fresh everything. You could start over, and obviously things from previous years are not going to be forgotten, are not going to be completely thrown out the window, and I don't think anyone expects them to be. But you are able to change yourself for the better, and say that matters, and say that the changes I'm making are important. And I think that's something we all need to remember. Changing yourself for the better is good, and that in itself is an accomplishment that should not be thrown away. And I guess that's the way I would like to live 2018. Changing for the better, and acknowledging those changes, and making sure that in the end, the year turns out alright. Maybe not in the world, maybe not even in the country, but at least with me, because that's what's under our control. Well, that's all the time I got. I'll see you all next time.